Wayne Thiebaud's first one-man show was held 19 years ago in Sacramento's Crocker Art Gallery. Since then, he has become one of America's most celebrated pop artists.
These kinds of paintings are probably the best known ones, and the idea of using oil material, oil paint, and painting this material is, for me, so close. They're both sort of interchangeable like this. I actually think sometimes that this is candy I'm spreading on here, or lacquer, or sweet stuff, caramel. And that's one of the intriguing problems about painting, I think, to me at least. There are two problems, I think, basically in landscapes which interest me at the moment. One is the concept of making shapes more important, going from corner to corner and creating those shapes. But the other thing is the way in which you lose, hopefully, your touch of where you are, whether you're on the valley floor or whether you're flying in a plane. The loss or the elimination of a specific horizon line is one of the aspects of this problem.
What special challenges are there in painting a figure compared to a landscape or a still life?
It's just a lot harder because we know the figure so well. We're always touching the figure and caressing it and looking at it because it's nice to look at. We're interested in that. So that as a result of that, we know the figure better than we know even a cup of coffee or shoes or anything else. And people can instantaneously tell when something's wrong with it. And it's a great challenge for that reason. You can never really get it right. It's impossible to paint the figure correctly. It's just not something that can be done, I don't think. Certainly I can't do it anyway.
Well, that looks pretty realistic. Well, why this particular pose, though?
Well, poses, I get that question a lot. A lot of people think I have some strange motivation or some existential dilemma inserted into the program of posing, but it's not that at all. It's just that I look, the models come and pose for a long time, sometimes 6 or 8 hours, until I find a pose which is interesting, but I don't really know why it's interesting. I really prefer not to know why, because that's part of the thing that intrigues me. So I look at it and I say, well, that would be nice. I don't know what she's doing, what she's up to, or why I like it, but I want to try and paint it that way. So I don't have any secrets. I wish I did. Having an exhibition here means a great deal to me because my friends, most of them are all here. And some of them have never seen the original paintings to any extent. They've never had a chance to see them as opposed to reproduction. So they can, for better or worse, make up their own minds how they actually look rather than how they hear they look.
The current Crocker exhibit is a mirror of Thiebaud's most productive years, a collage of his favorite works, everything from landscapes and nudes to candied apples.
Looks like Sacramento is a very active art center. Lots of people working. The times I've been around various parts of the country, I haven't seen anything quite as extensive and as active as I've seen it in my own hometown.
Now, when you inspect a work of art, what do you look for? What's the procedure you go through?
Well, it's very difficult. It's hard to say finally why a painting seems to affect you in a positive way, but I think to answer the question directly, it would be that I try to look as best I can for something genuine, something where I think a painting is a terrific tattletale on what's involved in terms of intensity, what's meant by the person's intention, how much love and care he's put into it. All those things are, I think, fairly evident.
It seems that more evidence now that you have the masses painting going into the arts. Do you think that we're getting better arts through this? Do you think that this is a healthy trend?
Well, I think art finally, you never know where art's going to come from. It rears its ugly head in almost any place at any time, but presumably and primarily, art, whether we like it or not, seems to come from other art. And the more art activity you have, the more chance you have to produce art. It's just like Kansas produced more milers than anybody else, and one place will produce more tennis players, or the Australian tennis players now are greater because they have greater people to test themselves against. And the same thing, I think, finally is true with art, in the sense that we use the term art. What art at least means to me is some very supreme, rare accomplishment.